emergency vet visit, like, I think it's just.
It is what it is.
Yeah. And also, like, us not being able to go in with him at all for like a whole year to the vet, it's always been like, he's going in with, without us, and I don't know if that has something to do with it too, but.
So, it's a number of things. One, if he was fine with the vet before, then the surgery happened, and then all of a sudden it's a 180.
Yeah.
I was what the answer is there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's nothing we can do about that. And a lot of my dogs have issues at the vet. Not my dogs, but
yeah. Sure.
Very common.
Mm-hmm.
So, most of them just get anxious, and it's an easy thing because it's like your dog needs diversion.
Yeah.
In other cases, it's not until the vet or the vet tech is trying to draw blood or like handle the dog that things start to escalate. Okay. Most places, like 90, I want to say 8% of places, don't know how to handle dogs correctly, and that's why there's a problem. Okay. So.
He's also, I don't know if this matters, he's heavily medicated when he's into the vet too.
Yeah.
It doesn't really seem to, he's tired, but it does not help his stress level really at all.
No,
he's
because.
very upset about it.
Yes, so I had a client whose dog, they gave him enough sedative for a rhino, and the dog was still fighting. Okay. I went with another client's dog, German Shepherd, and their vet actually was allowing people to come in and actually allowed me to go with them to help them go through the process. They still made the dog take drugs. That's not, like my thing is like, you don't need it, but their thing was, well, if you're gonna take a dog, you need drugs. No.
Yeah.
He showed up on like 4 or 5 different pills, and he was like salivating, and you could see him just kind of like this. As soon as the person walked in, blew up, right? They sedated him, he fell asleep. They came in, went to pick him up, he blew up. Sedated him some more, they came in again, he almost blew up, they sedated him some more. And then finally, they take him and put him on the table, and he still grumbled. So the instinct, the whole like primal instinct, the whole defense, like dogs will override a lot of drugs, But it happens with people too. Like there was a video of some guy like hopped up on drugs and like 8 cops were tasering him, and he didn't come down because the drugs were overriding everything. So here, that's why I was like, issue is going to be the vet because it depends on what they allow. If it's like, no, you can't come in with your dog, then you're stuck.
Yeah.
Because I can show you how to help handle him, put him under control so that he's not under as much stress. But if they're like, no, you can't come in, and it's all on them, you're stuck because it's contextual. So if I show you, or if let's say with Marshall, like I was there with him and I was handling him, and there's a whole trust factor, plus we know how to do it correctly, we can do it. But when you start to put it in their hands, where it's like, I've only seen you X amount of times, and when I come here, you like poke me with needles and stuff, like, screw that, I'm gonna be defensive. He's not doing anything quote unquote bad, but it's hard to work around, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what we'll do is, you have to talk to your vet and say like, hey, we worked with our trainer, he helped us learn how to handle Marshall correctly so that you can do what you need to do. Okay, if they're like open to that, then great.
Okay.
If not, then what's your thinking there?
I mean, I'd be open to new vets or like goals.
Yeah, I would be open to like going to a new vet that like would be. I mean, they're just so anti like stressing him out anyway. It's just like
It's impossible.
Yeah, and I'm just like at this point, like he's due for his heart ward, like the blood draw for it, and so they're gonna wait till he has his like I guess not really his 1 year appointment because he just turned a year, but like his update for all of his vaccinations in a month or so, and we're trying to get him in a place where he'll be okay for that, and so I would be open to whatever. We definitely need to talk to them and see what they would allow. Like I don't know if it's like here we've been vaccinated, like can we come in with them? I was gonna say, like, even he gets really suspicious of us together sometimes. Like, he'll think that because we've given him medication and like, like he gets super. So sometimes like we'll be sitting on the couch and he like won't come near us because he thinks like we're gonna do something to him. Like, just come sit on the couch with us. And so he's just kind of, he can sniff out a pill at this point just because he's been on so many medications
Oh, yeah,
for
no, my
surgery and
kid's
stuff.
the
Like
same
he's,
way,
yeah, and so like at this point, like cleaning his ears, we're just like, we just really don't unless, yeah, we really have it.
Yeah, because that I can help you with, because that's
Yeah.
me showing you how
Yeah.
to do it with him.
Yeah.
So what I think key questions for your vet would be, we'll see what we can get done today with handling skills on your part, and if they'd allow you to come in. And then I would let them know, like, look, if your concern is not stressing our dog out, we understand stress is part of the process, it's okay. Because some may be like, well, we don't want to stress the dog out because then the owner is going to think bad of us because their dog had a negative experience.
Yeah, I'm just tired of coming back here. Like, just do it. Like, I don't, like, I muscle trained him so you can just, like, manhandle him if you need to, or he's not gonna bite you, but, like.
So it might just be that whole aspect, because I understand that, right? Because then they don't want to, like, look bad.
Yeah.
And then if they're like, no, we're cool, we understand.
Just do it.
Just do it, right? And then like, okay, cool, we just wanted to make that clear, then great,
Yeah.
right? Then awesome, then they just do their thing. Otherwise, if they say, because there's some people that are just, they're soft.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they're like, no, you know, fairies and rainbows and
Yeah.
treats and shit.
Yeah.
I know that's not
Like, he
like.
doesn't even like peanut butter anymore because he associates it with, like, going to the vet and having pills. So he doesn't even like peanut butter, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then I would say you can find a new vet.
Yeah.
I'd call around, first question to ask would be, you know, our dog, you know, because of this, has this apprehension, he's muzzle conditioned. If you bring him in muzzle, can you work with them? Oh yeah, great, all we need them is to be muzzle conditioned.
Yeah.
Awesome. They just take them, they do their thing, okay? Otherwise, if it's like, because some places still won't do it.
Yeah.
Right, or they'll make you put your dog under before they do anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so it gets really complicated. Otherwise, if you find a vet that lets you go in there and like actually be a part of it, then that I think is the best bet.
Okay.
Because I can teach you the skills to be able to contain him. The next thing, which is the remote collar. It gets so complicated. I've been here plenty of times with people in the veterinarians and stuff, or veterinarians will pass judgment or whatever, and it's like, come on, just like, it's not your dog, just treat the dog, do your job.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is, what kind of muzzle do you have him conditioned on?
I think it's actually this.
It's like that one exactly. This
Size
is
6 or
bigger.
5?
It's
Bigger?
the biggest one that I could find.
Because this is size 6, this is the biggest one.
I think that's, it looks like it's that big, right?
Okay, you wanna try it? So these are ours.
I don't know if he'll let me do it without a treat in my hand, but.
He does have any allergies?
No.
No.
Okay, we get it.
I got you.
Let's try it.
Yeah, I just want to make sure, like, I don't know. No, put this one on. Is it this way? No.
Yeah, so then.
No, it's this way, yeah, it's like this way. Marshall, please. Oh, wait, no, I got you. Just gotta tighten it up. Oh, hold on. Gotta tighten it up. Okay.
There's a couple of.
Yep, just get you a treat. Hold on, bub. Get you a treat. Hold on. You gotta tighten it up. It's too loose on you. Hold on.
Can't keep it.
Let me tighten it up. Hold on. Hold on. Whoa.
Yeah, I know this new style of the strap is like. So go ahead with here.
I can't figure out how to tighten this one. Sorry.
It's okay. So what we're
You're fine.
gonna
You're fine. You're fine.
do is,
You're fine.
we're gonna put obedience out the window. Okay? Is with your prong, you just choke up like this. Anytime he gets shifty, you pull straight up. In this case, you can't because she's right there. So you go up and back, and as soon as he settles, release that pressure. Okay? Because if you leave the slack, he's gonna have more space to just kind of go over the place.
Right.
All over the place, and you're just trying to keep him contained. We don't say sit here because this is a relax.
Yeah.
Okay, so obedience is physical control, mechanical. Just butt down, lay down, get your ass over here. Behavior is chill and relax while mom puts on your
Right.
your stuff. Because he can be in the sit but still be shifting all over, right?
Yeah.
Because he's resistant, correct?
I think that's tight. That's what's on.
Okay, so that's still loose. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is, so here, up and relax. Okay, up and then relax. There we go. Okay. So we always want to do one thing at a time. So
Okay.
here, if I'm trying to fit this muzzle correctly, right, and he's shifting around too much, it's actually easier just to move this. If he's shifting around too much, I settle him first. Here you go. And then I go to fit the muzzle, okay? Because if you try to do two things at once, you're gonna get nowhere. So we always wanna work on de-escalating or pacifying Marshall before we move to fitting the muzzle.
You got a long nose and a fluffy head.
Yeah, this new style of this muzzle is strap is a pain. Okay, so go ahead and try to move that over his head.
Okay.
Yeah, so here, bring them back. And always up. Like that.
Come on.
Good.
Come on.
There we go. Yep. Come on this side. So I use his body against him.
Is it okay? This isn't that tight up top.
This is fine.
Okay.
This is still too loose, but this is fine for now.
Okay.
It is up and relax. There. So the moment you feel relaxation, okay? So here, we're using Marshall's body against them. Dog's power is this way, forward and backward. Since they're long, so you saw how I just kind of did that. I used the prong with his head like this, and I pushed against his hip here, and I used my fingers like this.
Okay.
Because imagine if you just go like this, it's uncomfortable, and I'm pushing against him until he gives into the pressure.
Okay.
And as soon as I straightened him out, I pulled up, sat him, he got up, pivoted him again, up, relaxed him, and then we moved to the muzzle. Does that make sense? So first we're getting Marshall in the spot that we need him in.
Okay.
So I don't want you to think fixed space, because right now we're doing this on a placemat. So even if you were to be here on the tile, I'm still pivoting him, and I'll use my leg as a brace, because if I hold the hips here and the head here, he can't go this way and he can't go this way. And so if he can't do this, the head will stay for the most part pretty straight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when we do this, remember, and you can do left or right side, whatever works for you. So like here, right away, you see how I just caught him? And now I have my leg as a brace here. I have his head here, because this gives me immediate control from here, and I'm doing this. This is pointless. Okay? So just like this, so if I need to stand him, I just go like this. Okay? So here, my hand is just resting. My knee is a little bit in, and I'm just holding. So if he starts to like squirm, then I increase the pressure and contain him. Enough to counter, not enough to really be excessive.
Okay.
That's the problem, is people use excessive. Excessive creates more panic.
Okay.
So if you watch cop videos where like they detain someone, and let's say it's over a small thing, but the cops are using too much force, the person panics. And it's called excessive use of force, right? Same thing for the dog. So when I come in, when I am trying to settle him, I'm using just enough to contain him. If he fights more, I increase. But the moment he gives me what I want, I relax. And it becomes a conversation. So then he's going, okay, like I know you're trying to keep me contained, but you're also not like doing too much to make me panic. I've seen like 3 to 4 vet attacks on one single dog. And the dog is out of control.
Yeah, they said they were trying, they had 3, right? And they
Yes, because they don't know how to do it. Because they tend to think overpower, and I'm thinking communication. Right? Yes, I need you to sit still. I know you don't like this, but this is going to happen. Okay? So we're using our tools to our advantage, choking up higher here, pulling forward if we need to, like this. Okay? Now, when they need to draw the blood, is he laying down or standing?
Oh, I don't know.
We don't know where you've been in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
No.
So here, like let's say they need to draw blood from the left paw, right? Is if I go up and I do this, I can block the head. You see that? So I'm not putting too much force on them. You can see that? Just enough, and then they can grab the leg. Okay? Or I can even brace like this, because he's muzzled. This takes away a lot of risk for us. Okay? So here, if I just do this, I got this leg bracing.
So like that would be able to like come in and like do their thing.
Correct. Okay? And then we're just holding. Okay? So then the next thing is the vet comes in, he starts to buck and rock. People want to keep pushing. You can't. You have to settle him first and then revisit the paw. Okay? So let's try that here. Okay? So I'm going to hold Marshall like this, and I'm going to have you come in and grab that front left paw.
That's really good.
And then step back.
Well, now I know how to trim your nails.
Good.
Yeah.
So then here, did you notice something?
Yeah, stop panicking.
Stop panicking.
Yes. What does that tell you?
Maybe he's a little more relaxed or something?
No.
More nervous?
Yes. That's loaded tension. Okay? Here.
Oh, I've seen that when he sees other dogs too.
Yes.
Like walking, like if he,
Precursor.
yeah,
Yeah.
he'll stop panting and just watch. And
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what that tells you is what's happening right now.
I don't like it.
I don't like it, right? It's not bad. It's communication. What's important is what does he do next? Okay, so silence doesn't always mean I'm gonna strike. Silence is just, I don't like what's happening. And then he would go back to panting again. He goes, I just have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Or he blows up, okay? So then, if you were to blow up, you would correct that, reposition back again. And I actually have a video that I can send you as well with the dog. Yogi's actually here today for daycare. She couldn't trim his nails or wipe his paws or something, and we worked him through it within the session, and ever since then he's been great.
Yeah.
Okay, but his was easier. So here, just using his mechanics against him. If we need him standing, I got my hand right here underneath the belly. I'm braced a little bit against him with my knees. I got my arm right here, and I can push this as far back as I need to, right? And still keeping this here.
Yeah.
Now, if we have a two-person thing, this person can keep the prong back here. So come and step to my side end. There we go. And then I'm like this, so that gives us even more leverage.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, you're not keeping this tight, keep it slack, but you're keeping it like that. Okay? So it's mostly here. So this way, if it's two of us, his head can only overpower so much because he has no strength like this. His strength is this.
Yeah.
Okay?
So if we were both able to like go in, like, and I held a leash, like Andrew could hold him like that, and the vet could do whatever they needed to do. Okay.
That's the theory,
Yeah,
right?
like that would be how you were.
Exactly.
Like, play
The
out.
thing is, of course, at the vet, like let's say he did throw a fit here. The fit he would throw here and the fit he would throw at the vet are two different things. Because he doesn't have the experience here like he has at the vet.
Yeah.
So he's going to be more empowered and more validated in that response, thinking like, well, shit, last time I came here,
Yes.
right? So then that's where the collar comes into play, or the e-collar. Because then you would start correcting him because you're telling him like, you can't freak out, right? That's why I was like, when the vet comes, you have to settle him first, and then the vet will come back. But that's the problem, is that now the vet has to help you train your own dog. Technically.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So, and then, or the vet doesn't like the fact that you're using a remote collar tool. Okay?
So we have to be like, this is what we're gonna do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So obviously it's their time, I get it, they're
Yeah.
professional, right? So let me have you position yourself with him, and then I'm gonna be the vet. Okay, and what I would do is also use your right leg. So you're gonna be completely and a little bit to your left. So that so that you're feeling both of your knees are feeling the entirety of his body.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then here with the right arm, let's say you're just doing the solo, you go more back on the right arm, exactly, to keep his head there. So it keeps him kind of pocketed in your leg there, that he shouldn't squirm. Now let's say you start to feel him flush back. Yeah, that right? That's when you have to come in tight to contain him so that he doesn't buck out of there.
Got it.
Okay? So, ready?
Yeah.
So if I come in, you can already see it when it flows.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. So then here, let's try this with two people.
Okay.
Okay. And then you're
And
gonna
I'll
position the
just
same way.
like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So then here, right, like this, and I come in and I do my thing. Of course, he's gonna flip out. Now, if you do this at home, what you can do is just like the paw reward thing. I don't know if you've ever done that before with him. Now, is it gonna help in that kind of context? It may not, but it doesn't hurt to do it just to get him used to it, okay?
Yeah.
So, when you had him by yourself, that kind of movement back, right, where he was able to slip out, is right when that happens, you have to be quick and right away, it's just you're clamping down to keep him within that tight space, okay? So this is one way of going about it. Go to release. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, for sure. Would we use that same kind of hold if we needed to do his ears?
So what I would do is, how would I do it with Yogi? Because we did it with Yogi. And we actually did his ears, we did his legs and his ears. And I think what we did here was, so yeah, same thing, but then this would be a two-person thing.
Okay.
So then you would go into the ears like this. So show me what you need to do.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a squeeze bottle, and then like you squeeze it in, and then rub it, and then like, get the cotton swab.
And let him shake his head.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Let me see if we have something that looks like a squeeze bottle.
Okay, watch your set. This is not fun training. This is really helpful though. Even just being able to hold him down like that
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
like his paws or something, like. Is this how his model fits? I didn't
No, it
realize.
might actually be a little bit smaller.
I think this one looks better though, right?
Yeah.
I'll ask if he thinks this is the right size for Marshall.
Probably not gonna work, but maybe we can fake them out.
Oh yeah, that'll probably take him out.
Okay. So then here.
He's like, "Fine."
Oh, there we go. Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So here, for me, I think even, yeah, like you said, this will work better, because it still allowed him to turn to your hand. Now, if you're muzzling him prior to doing this, which I would suggest,
Yeah.
you're fine, obviously. But yeah, this hold will still work for you. Yep.
Yeah.
So here, go ahead. One second. Let me pass by first. Okay. All right, so still some concern there, okay? Go and get the treat bag, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this into a training exercise. So this is the one that you can do at home. Now, see if he'll take a treat from you.
There's shaky space in the box. Oh, he's just, I wonder if he thinks it's something he should eat.
There we go. So here we'll take a little break. I would use something high value. Cheese, chicken, turkey, bologna, human grade stuff. Because this is something he really doesn't like, so you have to kind of balance that out,
Yep.
okay? Now here, did you see what you did incorrect?
When he kind of got a little bit nervous, I kept going.
Kept going.
Yeah.
So that's what you want to remember, because that's the exact same thing veterinarians would ever do.
Yeah.
So you keep trying to push while the dog's bumping and rocking.
Yeah.
And just take an extra second.
Yeah.
You de-escalate the dog, and then come in and keep doing that. And eventually the dog should be passive enough that it's not going to be to that degree. Now, if it's not getting better, then that means this isn't enough. That's where collar has to come in to say like, hey,
Yeah.
if you keep acting a fool at 10, we're going to correct you with the remote collar now.
Got it.
So you go, okay, crap, now that's here, right?
Yeah.
And then it should progressively be easier. So what we're going to do here
So if
is,
he didn't calm down, like if he, because he pretty much stopped right after you kind of just gave him a second, but if he continued to do that, would you like
You
tap
would
it
correct
then?
it.
Okay.
and you wouldn't say no or anything, just tap on the collar until you feel him calm. In the video I will send you with Yogi, it's a really good example. Like there's a moment where he like really flips out, okay? And then when you see me correct him and everything, I bring him right back in. And what I do in that moment is I always turn like this to reset the situation.
Ooh, he loves a good turn,
Yeah.
reset. Yeah, we do that when we walk down the street, so like even when he does something in the house and we tell him, no, Colton, do a turn.
Sure.
Like it's his, that's his like reset,
Yeah,
yeah.
so we do a turn to reset if we need to, and then get back in position, okay? So what we're gonna do here is, once a day for 2 to 3 minutes, do like 5 sets of this.
Okay.
You're not really doing the medicine. You're just doing the action and the exercise, and then afterwards you pair it with reward.
Okay.
So here, if he flips out, we calm him down. If he really flips out, we correct him and calm him down. We do the exercise, and we always feed at the end,
Okay.
regardless, okay? So then if he doesn't take it, no problem, you just offer it a couple times. If he doesn't take it, don't worry about it, just finish your exercises. try again the next day.
Okay.
So let's say the first 5 days he's not taking any food, but then the 6th day he does. What does that tell you?
That he's more comfortable in the situation.
Correct.
He's willing to eat something.
Correct. So that's how you can kind of divide or determine where you're at within the progress, okay?
Yeah.
And even when you get up to the point where like it's like, oh, he's great. My advice is you still muzzle, okay?
Oh yeah.
Even though he's your dog, because people always think like, my dog would never bite me. I'm like, if the dog has teeth, they can bite you, okay? Is if you, one day, maybe he's having a bad day, maybe one day he's really uncomfortable with the ear, you know, and then you go in assuming like, hey, he's been great for the last 6 months, right?
Yeah.
It can potentially be an issue there, okay? So you always want to err on the side of caution, always use that muzzle. You condition them already, take advantage of it, because that would make things so much more difficult. Is we have this high stress situation, plus he's not muzzle trained, you know, so this is good, okay? So what we're gonna do is I, of course, get him in position, bring him over, like this. And when I'm doing this, I'm not being forceful, but I am being assertive.
Okay.
Okay, like I was putting some pressure on him earlier when he like flipped out. And then as soon as he relaxed, I relaxed as well. Okay, so go ahead and come in towards the ear, right? So then I assert myself, de-escalate, move in again. There you go, and then reward. And we would use passive praise here.
Okay.
Good. Okay.
Good boy.
Because excited energy very easily becomes that.
Oh, got it. Instead of being like, good boy, like, good boy.
Because then he's like this, and all of a sudden you do something he doesn't like, then we're back to
Yeah.
this.
And he's already at like the high level. And
Yes.
Got it.
So excitement to us looks like happiness, but it's excitement.
Yeah.
And excitement very easily triggers into reactivity or aggression. I've seen it happen so many times where we're always like, man, like Jessica's out, we're so excited. And all of a sudden, boom. And I'm like, yeah, because you had your dog already at a 10, and then something happened they didn't like, and they're not thinking at 10, and then it's just react. Okay?
Yeah.
So then here I'll do a quick little reset. So here, you see how he stopped short?
Yeah.
Why did he stop short?
Because he knows that.
Because he knows.
Yeah.
And then what did I do in response?
You kind of gave him a second. I don't know. Oh.
You reset him.
What else?
Oh, pull up.
I pulled forward.
Pull forward. Oh,
So he stopped short. Let's see if he does it again. Okay? So here, I went like this. And he stopped. Let's say here. Okay? And let's say he's going like this.
Yeah.
He's going, no, right?
Yep.
Is anchor yourself. Use the prong and his body mechanics to your advantage and make him come into the situation.
Okay.
Most people will adjust to the dog, but he's not moving forward because he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
And when you adjust to him, he's stuck and not wanting to do it. And here you're saying, look, I know you don't want to do it, but you're gonna do it.
And so you've already like kind of, in moving him, you've already kind of convinced him that no, like you're
This
gonna
is
do
gonna
something.
happen.
This is going to happen. Yeah.
Yes. And then we go in position and then to the ear. And then reward.
good boy.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Want to try it? Sure.
Yeah, I'll get one to try. This is most likely how this would happen, so.
And what I would do here is throw the excess leash and yeah, and then you just choke up and wrap it around your finger with a lock like that, okay? So you have less clutter in your hand.
Yeah.
And you can focus more on him. And then go ahead and bring that right leg forward so that you got more of a brace. There you go, like that. And
Okay.
then I'll bring one.
Okay. I'm sorry, you changed mine.
And then you relax your pressure.
Oh, boy.
Okay, come in. Okay. Reset.
Somebody's gonna get his ears cleaned next week.
There you go. Yep. Here, wait. Now you up on your prong. De-escalate. Now here, you see this? He's still looking, right? Up more. And then up and like this to turn his, there you go, like that. And then position, there you go. Yep. Up. Yep. Back. Up. Yep. Forward. Yeah. And then use your, there you go. Okay. Yeah. Up. Okay. Up on your, in the back. There you go. Where's the remote?
Oh, right here, man.
Okay. We're gonna try one more.
Okay.
If it doesn't go, this is where we start to incorporate the remote.
Okay.
One more. Okay. Up. Yep. There you go. Come in. Yep. Up. Reposition. There you go. Hold on 1 second. See how he's locked on. There. Wait a moment. Let him reposition. Okay. Yep. Try to come in. There you go. Good boy.
Good boy.
All right. Pause. 71.
Okay.
Okay. So I tapped through, like tap the tap. That was 25, 35, 45, and 71. And remember, pausing until you get the de-escalation. So he was like this to you,
Yeah.
right? And when I tapped him, he kind of went like this,
Yeah.
right? Like he moved his head, but when he came in again, he kept coming up. So I kept correcting this, right?
Okay.
Here I do no words because I want him to learn that going into this mindset, don't
Should
do that.
you consider that?
Exactly. If you say no, he can technically do it until you say no.
Yeah.
Okay? Also, we tend to like get frustrated, no. Or taking it personally, like, oh my God, my dog's like lunging at me, no.
Yeah.
And that incites more behavior.
Yeah.
Okay? So here, and in that moment, I would be more, it's not so much forceful, definitely direct, assertive, kind of like manhandling, but manhandling to me is just like, fucking do it.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, you're gonna do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's always a difference in energy. So let's go ahead and reset.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
do
weird.
this. Try it.
It's weird to like find like my center of balance and need to like go. Yeah.
Pull forward.
Yeah, so here, yeah, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. And down, come in. Tap. Pull up his hindquarters. Good. Come in. Yeah.
Good boy.
See how that was quicker though?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I found the working level for this contract. So 71 just gives you an idea.
Okay.
Now let's say you're tapping him and he's like barking, you're probably using too much pressure.
Okay.
Okay, so I want enough that it does deter the behavior and it's impactful, but not so much that it puts the dog into, because he's already stressed.
Yeah.
He's already in a sense like panicking, is you're just kind of smacking him across the like, dude, settle.
Yeah.
Right? So just enough where it's firm that yes, it snaps him out of it, but then deters the next one. So the first one, because I had to bump it up, took quite a few, but once
Yeah.
we hit 71, I think it was pretty
Yeah. Like this is.
instant.
Yeah.
Okay, reset.
Holy cow. Good boy.
Two more. Yeah, tap.
I'm sick.
Step
I'm
back.
sorry.
Step back right here. Good. So right there, you know what you did incorrect?
He was looking at me.
Yeah. So you kept going in.
Yeah.
So whenever he looks at you, because you got by a couple of times, right? but then it would stack.
Mm-hmm.
So then he escalated, not to like he did before, the first 1 or 2 times, right? So right when he comes in, you can give a tap to say like, don't even like think about it.
Okay.
Let him make his next decision, and if you feel like he's more so becoming more passive,
Okay.
then you go in.
Okay.
If he's stuck in that like,
Yeah. You still staring?
bump a
Yep.
little bit, tap, bump a little
Okay.
bit, tap to disengage him.
Okay.
Let's go to reset and try that again. Pull forward. There you go. There you go. And brace your arm. There you go. Yeah, so remember, so here, just so you know, he had his arm raised up over where you're at before entering. You're at the top of his shoulder. You're like there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that gives him no leverage. So you want that arm all the way down like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tuck his legs underneath you.
Okay. Now you're gonna step in slowly.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. Right. Wait a moment. Let him
Oh, yeah.
go up. Yep. Use your palm to bring him up. There you go. Yep, like that. Now step in.
Do I tap for that?
Let's see what he does. There we go. So you're correct to think, do I tap for that?
Yeah.
That's what the muzzle allows you to do.
Yeah.
Is you can go, how you did.
Yeah.
Now let's say every time he does that kind of partial look,
Mm-hmm.
and you go to move, he always becomes defensive.
Mm-hmm.
Then you know, okay, yes, that is something that I would tap for
Yeah.
because he becomes defensive.
Mm-hmm.
If it's sometimes he does it, sometimes he does, same thing,
Yep.
you treat it as he does,
Mhm.
you would correct that. So eventually he just kind of sits there. You're gonna get some kind of eye contact.
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna look at you because he knows what
Yeah.
you're gonna do.
But that eye contact didn't look as like,
Right.
what the, yeah, what are you doing?
Yes.
A little bit like, I'm watching.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But you can always command more.
Okay.
Okay? Know it because it's you going in, and if you're like, yeah, I don't like the feel of this,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, you're not gonna screw him up.
Yeah.
Let's try one more.
Circle around.
There you go. Raise your arm. Better. Good. Right, now settle. Yep. Good. Now, step in. Hold right there. Tip. Right, now, use your palm to bring him up. Yep. And then out on the hindquarters. Yep. And then down with the right arm. You got it. Was there a tap there?
I did give him one. Mm-hmm. And that's when he like looked down.
Okay. And always remember to give a pause after a tap
Okay.
to let him process
Okay.
and get it out of the system
Okay.
before stepping forward.
Good boy.
Okay? We tend to rush things, and it's literally,
Yeah.
there you go.
Because I think we're like just rushing, want to get it over with and like not like making go through it any longer. But it makes sense that just to like wait.
Right, so if you just try to breeze through it,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get anywhere. It's always gonna be a process
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So what you're teaching Marshall is one,
You're okay.
even in this context, he still can't behave that way, okay?
Yeah.
But that's why we do that in this.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Questions on any of this so far?
No, this is super helpful. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, the next thing would be, I would focus on the ears first. Once you get past the ear, so to speak, you can use, you start doing the paws, which is like a paw,
Mm-hmm.
piece of chicken, right? You do that with each leg, pick up the hind leg. So in Yogi's video, you'll see where I pick up his hind leg, and I start to kind of stretch it back a little bit, and I kind of pressing in his toes and everything,
Mm-hmm.
trying to imitate what maybe a vet would do.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll see him where he blows up, and then you see where he has a big explosion. But he was more escalated than him, so I just kept tapping.
Mhm.
So you'll hear more tapping there because he was, I don't want to say extreme because it makes it sound like a big
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
He was at a higher level of escalation. So I had to do more, and then eventually we just kind of cracked through it. There's like one really big spiel, and then after that, for the most part, like he's pretty chill. There's only like a couple instances where we had to correct him with the owner,
Mhm.
and then he's been fine since.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna have potentially a problem from this exercise. What might it be?
I can't,
The muzzle.
oh,
He's gonna start thinking, hey, put that muzzle on, you know, do this
Yeah.
exercise.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so what I suggest put that muzzle on, just have him wear it for like 15 minutes, you know.
So just continue the muzzle conditioning?
Yes.
Separate from any other interaction?
Because, so one thing that people do is like every time the dog goes to the vet, they only use the muzzle for the vet. So then the dog learns that, right? So then the dog starts to become defensive of the muzzle, anticipating that it's going to be to a vet visit, right? So here, if you only muzzle him to do this ear stuff, he's going to go, oh, you're doing the exercise, so he's going to bring it in a step earlier. Except you're not going to have the same safety and means to be able to press. Okay. So then have him with the muzzle 15 minutes throughout the day while he's doing nothing. Go on.
Did you say 15 or 50?
15.
Okay.
You know, 30 or 10 minutes, 5 minutes here. You know, bring out the muzzle and just pop him a treat or whatever without putting it on him. So he's seeing it more and more, and it's not always tied to we're going to do stuff with the ear. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, for sure. And he'll very quickly tie the two together, so probably.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
it's
like,
right, you bring the bottle out, and I'm sure right away when you learn like what that bottle meant, you're like, you're not getting it right.
There's some like random stuff we'll pick up and he thinks it looks like something else. Runs to the other side of the room.
Sure.
We'll definitely do that.
So this exercise gives you as much leverage as possible. Will he roll on his side for you?
Yeah.
Not as like a command, but we can.
We can do this bang bang.
Oh yeah, what if we'll do it right now?
Marshall, you try.
Marshall, bang bang. You're gonna do your trick. Okay, I know you're too worked up.
I'll show you. So here,
We'll go on a side though.
in case you need to roll him. So he starts going under stress. He did it the other way. There we go. So come over this way. And what you would do is similar, is you would have an arm braced over like this, and then this one here. So you can keep him down. And the moment he relaxes, you relax too, like that. And you just have your hand there. But then immediately if he were to start to buck, you kick in again with pressure. So in case they have to lay him down, you again using that side to side. You know, he's got no advantage, or he has to squirm and try to get up that way. Is they can come in and then do their thing, look and poke and prod around, or if they say can you get them on the table, and you can get them down on the side for them to do their stuff in terms of the needle. Okay, and that's the laying down version of it. You can relax.
You're free back.
So, whenever you do these things, there is no commands. Use that prong to your advantage. So like right there, I could have sat down, right? But now you're bringing in obedience into a behavioral aspect. And you can start becoming averse to it, thinking like, oh, this is gonna become like, you know, roll over, then the vet grabs my leg or something. So I use the fact that he's conditioned to respond to pressure to bring him down, and he went the opposite way. But I would have wanted him to pop like this so that I have my right arm here and my left arm here, and then I'm relaxed. But as soon as you start feeling buck, then you come down a bit and then let him settle, and then you settle too.
Like have your hands over him so you can very easily get back in control.
Okay. So on the table or something like that, that would be the easiest. Otherwise, if you're standing, we do this version. Okay. Other questions?
Kind of similar. Like we don't give him too many baths. He hasn't needed too many, but he's not a fan. I think now that he's muzzled, he'll let us bathe him. He just kind of sits there, he doesn't pan. He's just very quiet and serious, and is just not happy about it. And so we were always kind of nervous. But now that I have him muzzle trained, I think I would be more comfortable, bathing him. Because we were just kind of all right, we got the good parts that we needed to clean. You know, got to rinse off and kind of let him out. And it wasn't the best bath that he's had. But you know, are there any tips that you have for?
Does he try to jump out the tub?
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's weird because he seems to love the water. Provide a lake or something, he'll want to go in and play with it.
Pools.
But, pools. But as soon as we kind of confine him, and I think
and
plus we
the
have
soap,
like a
Wow.
shower sort of bathtub, so it's like kind of a confined area.
Does he resist at any point, like going inside?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to like pick him up and
Put him in the tub.
But he can hop in if he wanted to.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
And he'll try to get in, like, if we're in the shower, he'll like try to get in the tub. Like, he's not,
But not like when you need to.
yeah,
bathe
when you
him,
need to
right?
bathe him, he doesn't want anything to do with that.
What you do is prong and e-collar him,
Okay.
and then the moment you feel him buck back, don't say anything, just start tapping and bumping until he decides to move in.
Yeah.
And then you pull up to get him into the tub, just enough to give incentive. If he goes in, you don't need to do anything. If
Yeah.
he doesn't go in, start tapping, and that's where you'd be all the way up here on the prong. So you have to pop him in.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's muzzled, of course, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then increasing the pressure until eventually he goes fine and he hops in.
Just,
So once you get him to mentally make the decision to enter the bathroom and enter the tub, in the context of it's a bath for him, we technically shouldn't see anything. Because if he's already saying, I don't want to go in there, and then you just pick him up and put him in there, nothing changed the mindset from I don't want to go in there. So then he's like, well, I don't want to be in here.
Yeah,
And then it can
absolutely.
escalate. Exactly. But here, if you're tapping him, even though you're technically forcing him using pressure, he thinks he's deciding to do it.
got it.
Okay? It's like when I get dogs that are fear aggressive, if I pull them like this, you'll see them kind of buck and bronc. They want nothing to do with me. And I put e-collar behind it, so then I trick them into thinking they're choosing to come to me.
Yeah.
And then I don't see anything anymore.
Yeah.
Okay? So I build trust indirectly that way. So same thing for this guy. But same kind of concept. If he's blowing up and stuff, you have your prong to de-escalate him. And then, same kind of process,
Yeah.
standing and holding.
Yeah.
Okay?
I don't even think he wasn't prong collar trained the last, or no, he wasn't e-collar trained the last time we tried.
Okay. So I have an important call.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Hello?
I shall sit.
Okay.
Don't hate me much.
Okay.
This is crap. Oh, we're doing fun stuff today.
Okay.
So if I ask you about his dog food, maybe?
Oh, it's food?
Because he is not puppy food.
What is it?
How much is Puerto Rico? Just do it and
It's
then we'll
down
come
to
back.
that.
I didn't know we know this problem. Alright, bye. Our van ran out of, we think it's Freon.
Oh, the one you just got?
The transport van, yeah.
Oh.
So I think it's just Freon, but if it leaks, then obviously it's something else.
That's not good.
Yeah, I know. Cool, other questions?
Oh, well, kind of unrelated to training, we, on the reservation site, we requested to have him boarded tomorrow night, and I don't think we've gotten a confirmation about it, but.
I confirmed it.
I'm-
If not, you're good.
Oh, okay.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and does it matter what time I drop him off tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
It's usually set the same rules, but 8 to 10 and 3 to 6 for pickup or whatever. But for drop-offs, if you just send us an email or a message saying,
Okay.
hey, you're gonna drop off Marshall at 12,
Yeah.
just so that staff knows, because the weekends is typically slower, which
Yeah.
it's not anymore. For some reason,
Yeah.
it's getting busier. So now I gotta get more staff for the weekends.
People are going out of town and.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
like things are going back to
Yeah.
normal.
I see people in the street like with their crazy dogs, and I want to be like, go to Where's my card? You like hold your business cards in my pocket right here, just
Yeah.
go.
We got so many crazy dogs right now. Insane. You can see how he's this avoidance.
Yeah,
He's
he's
out
just,
there.
he's just coming to have fun today.
Does he do fetch?
Yeah, oh yeah.
What you can do after this is fetch.
Oh, okay.
To redirect that stress and kind of like, hey, not only do you get chicken at the end of the thing, but at the end, you also just go for fetch.
Okay,
You know, and then you can burn off some of that pent up residual stress. So he's not stuck in this kind of state. Otherwise, if you can't, just ignore him, and at some point he'll get over it.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think you're gonna see this, but if you start to see like any suspicion from him, or he's kind of like, hey, you know, are you coming into my personal space? You know, trying to clean my ears. You know, let me know. Just because if you start doing it consistently, it might develop a pattern for him. I don't think so. Typically, when we see issues like that, there's already an issue with the owners. Like the dog's already biting the owner for something else.
Okay.
And then when we try to work on things, the dog becomes a little bit more suspicious. But in other cases, it's usually like he doesn't like it.
And he lets us like poke and prod at him, like he's on the couch, like you can get all in his, every part of it, and he doesn't care at all. It's only when you're actually going to do something, he he can tell.
Yeah.
And he's just like
if you pull out the nail clippers, he
yeah.
instantly knows.
So we just like started leaving, or like same thing with like the brush. Like they just sit on the coffee table, and so they're like always out. And so, but like he'll let me brush him, and like if he's really tired, AJ can get the dew claw, because otherwise from walking on the sidewalk, his nails are in good shape.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so we haven't had to do too much, but we're getting to the point now where it's like, yeah, we have to bathe it or clean his ears, which obviously German Shepherds need their ears clean because they get gross, and so we're like, we've got to really figure this out. And thanks, I think for the tips for the vet will be super helpful. We'll give them a call because we need to figure out what we're going to do. Because I was going to just be like, hey, we were thinking about getting him, fixed anyways, like put him under, get all your stuff done for the year, just like one fell swoop if that's like what we're gonna,
I know there's for whatever reason, I think a lot of vets are still like, nobody come in.
Yeah.
My vet is Burnham Park Animal Hospital, and you can go in with your pet. But I don't do anything like this.
Yeah.
My guys don't have any real apprehension to it. So, but if you're looking for a place that lets you inside, that's one place in the South Loop. Otherwise, you'd have to call around.
Yeah.
And the one place that actually let me go with the client, which was really cool, is in Indiana. Yeah, so I have another client that I referred there because they have a dog similar problems. And I was like, if you ever need me to go, they let me go in. And this was even during the whole pandemic and shutdown thing.
Yeah,
So
I'll maybe like call them or send them an email and like let them know. Like I think our vet, because she's been dealing with him, because it was when we took him for maybe his, it was back in like the winter, maybe like 3 or 4 months ago, and they said that he was like, acting kind of crazy, like wouldn't let him get near him at all, and they put him in a kennel and like let him calm down. And then right after that, like they were just like, they tried again and he wouldn't let them do anything. And they brought out a treat and he just like rolled over on his back and was like scratching my belly, and they were like, what in the world?
So then just letting him decompress.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be times where you can't do that, like you said, you just gotta get it done.
Yeah.
So this is what we do.
Yeah.
Okay? So practice this, and if anything pops up, let me know. But this should